everybody. We're so happy that you could join us here on Daytime. Now, earlier this month, Daytime's painting contributor, Jeff Monsine from Splat Paint, he gave us lessons in Painting 101. Tips, techniques, everything you need to get ready to paint your home. Now it's time for Painting 102. There's more to learn.
Right, and there's probably 103 and 104, but we'll do as much as we can.
We're going to get it through as much as we can. What are we talking about today?
Okay, so last time we were talking about how to prepare the room and quickly tarp and cover your furniture and move stuff out of the way.
Right.
But there's also one little technique of a walk-off tarp, which means having like a little rug, sort of a little area that you can walk out of the room without putting little footprints on the next room.
Yes,
so.
the footprints have been a big issue in my life, especially when my dogs ran through it.
Good technique.
Walk-off tarp.
And use smaller containers if possible. Take your paint and pour it into something smaller so that if you do spill it, that
it's not as much of a chaotic situation.
Right, and close your paint when you're not using it.
Because you can reuse it then.
Well, yeah, but you also will kick it, and you have it near you and it's open, you will spill it.
I've done both of those as well.
Right, and the last thing we're talking about right here is ladders and scaffolding safety.
And we have a ladder right here.
Exactly.
And this is not the proper way to get on your ladder when it's like, the binding is like this.
Please demonstrate.
Oh, okay, I will show you. If I go like this.
No, not that side.
I know you're
Never go on the back side of the ladder, and always make sure that it's open all the way.
Right, so make sure it's open.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Don't ever get on this side.
Right.
And don't put a huge can of paint up there either.
Right, nor step on it. That's not a step. That's just for stuff.
I swear he's doing these techniques just for me.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Now, to prime or not to prime? I like this.
You know, there are so many things that you can paint, and you have to make sure that the area, that the surface you're going to paint is clean, that it's dust-free, and that it's paintable. So, first of all, you may want to even use a mask or gloves, because a lot of people don't like the smell of paint or don't want to get paint on them.
Especially if it's an oil paint, right?
Definitely. So, you know, wear a mask and wear gloves if you want to not have to clean yourself. And degrease or clean the surface that you're painting. Dust it if the walls are dusty. If you're painting cabinets, degrease them.
Okay.
You can't paint with water-based paint over oil paint.
These are really important tips right here because you could mess up your whole paint job.
If you're molding or your cabinets or your walls are oil paint, you have to either put an oil primer on them first or sand them to change the texture of it, because you can't put water-based paint on top of oil. It just won't stick.
It doesn't stick at all, yeah.
Right. And even though you'd use an oil primer, for some reason you can still put water-based paint over an oil primer. I don't know.
Okay, well, that's good to know, too.
And if you have wallpaper and you want to not have to take it down because you know that that's a mess.
It's probably one of the biggest headaches of painting is trying to get the wallpaper off. But you don't always have to do it.
If it's in really good shape, if the wallpaper is there and it's stuck and it doesn't want to come off, don't take it off. Use an oil primer, roll over it, and paint away.
And voila, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can keep your wallpaper on if, like Jeff said, it's in really good condition.
Right, exactly. Okay, when you start painting...
I like this part, the brushes.
Okay, there are all kinds of brushes. As an example, this is a sash brush. And this is really good for when you're cutting in, when you're doing the edges near windows and things like that, okay?
Gotcha.
It's got an angle on it, makes it a little bit easier to do that. We also we use rollers. And rollers come in all different sizes. There's a little skinny cigar roller.
Right.
And this is good for going like in corners, because you can actually get
into the corner.
You can stuff it in there.
But this type of roller is good for a smooth wall.
Exactly. So if you have a little bit of a texture on a wall, or a real wall, because that's so tiny, here's a more normal roller. It's got a little bit more texture to it. But if you're painting a really textured surface, you got to use something with a really heavy nap on it.
I like this just because of the way it looks, but this really does get into all the edges and the grooves, and then you can continue painting on. Well, we could just go on about this forever. We really could, but I think we're going to have to start painting next time. Then.
I think so.
Apply some of these techniques.
Okay.
Make them useful. Jeff Monsine from Splat Paint, thank you so much. We appreciate it. You can connect with Jeff through daytimeonline.tv. Over to you.
All right, thanks, you two. You know, you're right. He's right. You can paint over wallpaper if it's well applied. I did a whole house that way.
Well, good for you, David.
It came out great.
And I did the scraping of the wallpaper. That was not a lot of fun.
Not fun.
No.
All right, just